it's an actual genocide, the likes of what happened to the Jews 75 years ago. So a Holocaust is happening, but something more than a Holocaust is happening is because 75 years ago the Jews were slaughtered and killed. And it's happening to the Uyghurs as well, but not to the scale of the Jews. But what the Uyghurs are going through is a lot worse. So you would have heard of these concentration camps. If you literally just type in Chinese concentration camps Uyghur, you'll see this, where people are rounded up simply for being an Uyghur, simply for being a Muslim, and put into these camps. And they are given 400 or 500 calorie diets. They are periodically tortured, systematically raped, both men and women.
For Allah, it's like humans are like ants. It's like for us, it's not like his perspective of what happened, how we feel, or what we do is not the same as how we perceive it. So the pain that we suffer, he can rectify at any point in time. And I mean, there's also in Islamic theology, we have this idea that people suffering will not be as great as the reward that they receive in heaven, to the extent where they will even forget what happened. Like, it's that great of a rectification that everything that they went through is nothing. If I'm an all-powerful God who can grant you a reward for eternity, I think 5 minutes of pain isn't a big deal.
They are in cells, anywhere between 40 to 60 a cell, and the cells are so small that the people in the cell are not able to sleep at one time because there is no room. Half have to sleep, half have to be on duty. The hygiene levels are very low. They share a bucket for a toilet. They are allowed to shower or use water once a month. They are made to go through indoctrination classes.
It'll be an insignificant memory. And this is the whole thing. So our position is that this isn't life. This isn't it. In fact, we have an internal consciousness going forward. And so any experience that you may have of suffering becomes, as our brother said, a faint memory that you don't even remember. In fact, we have a famous saying from the Prophet, peace be upon him, I think it's a Hadith Qudsi, that somebody who suffered throughout their lives, torture, rape, murder, whatever that may be, who dies, when they are dipped in heaven for a moment, they will be asked about, did you ever experience any suffering? And they will say, no, we never even came across the concept. Okay. And the other way around, if you take somebody who's had all the trappings and the pleasures and everything in life that you can think about, who's never had a moment of discomfort, and they're dipped into the hellfire for a moment, will be asked about the same scenario. Did you ever experience any pleasure? And they will say no.
During the interrogation periods, around 24 to 48 hours before each interrogation, the detainees are sleep deprived and food deprived. And just through that mental, psychological, and physical torture, the detainees end up dying.
Imagine this pen is your life, and this black point is actually the back of it is simply your life here, and the rest of this pen goes on for infinity into the distance. This at some point when you're looking at this whole thing, this is going to become either so insignificant that you don't see it, or it's going to be non-existent in your memory. Yeah. And so when we look at these things, so that suffering that child or that may have had for that few minutes or whatever that might be, is not it's a very emotive argument, but in the big scheme of things, it doesn't really hold much weight.